Hello my friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Erik, and today we are watching The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, episode 1 of season 1. So, this show, I'm intrigued by this. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know anything about it. I try hard to avoid finding stuff out about anything I watch. And yeah, like the only thing I know about this is that it's caused a bit of people got upset when they saw. I think it was a black woman who was cast as a dwarf. Um, like if you're here because you want someone like I'm a huge fantasy nerd. I love fantasy. I got my first copies of the Lord of the Rings trilogy when I was like 10 or 11. They were in Swedish at that point because I'm Swedish and like I couldn't read it in English back then, but then I read them in English when I was like 13 or something. I devoured books in my teens and I started reading in English very early, and I read basically like exclusively fantasy. I don't have as much time to read these days as I want to, but yeah, I used to read a lot because I had to spend a lot of time on the bus to and from work, and we didn't have smartphones back in the day, so I had to use books. Anyways, this show, yeah, I heard that this made a bit of a stink because yeah, there was a promotional image of an actress cast as a dwarf, I think, a dwarf princess or something, and it was a black woman, and people went on about how like this was disrespectful or something to the source material, which is like whatever. No, it's not. Like it's very simple. Tolkien, I don't. He wrote this like early in the 1900s, something like that. I think the foundation for the Silmarillion he made when he was in war in World War One. He wrote it while he was like in the trenches. I think, like small snippets that later became the Silmarillion. And I know that like he was probably alive when the last human zoo was still around in Belgium or something. So like it's there are no like black people really in Lord of the Rings, and that's because when Tolkien wrote the books, like there weren't really black people in Europe except for the ones that they were kept in zoos. Things change, however, and like if the books he wrote, if they were written today, it would have been like a more diverse cast of characters, I think. So, you know, I'm just not gonna go. I'm not gonna get into it. But if you're looking for someone to bash the show because uh, it includes people of color, then you're in the wrong place. That's not gonna be here because I really don't care. I really do not care. It's like complaining about. Like I'm a huge fan of the thought of Idris Elba as James Bond because I think he would like perfectly embody that character. You know, yeah, he's a black guy, but like, who cares? That's really not an issue. So yeah, I'm not gonna bash it based on that, and I'm gonna keep an open mind and see what it's like. Like, I don't know what I'm expecting. I don't really think I'm expecting anything. Um, I have no preconceived notions of what this is going to be, and I'm here for it. So let's discover what this is. It's been talked about quite a bit. Like Amazon wants to really make a name for themselves. We saw with Game of Thrones that big fantasy epics is the way to go. So let's see what this offering has in store for us, what this entry into the pantheon of grand fantasy shows has to offer for us. Before we get started, I just quickly want to mention the Patreon though. On the Patreon, you can get this early and uncut. There's also all the other shows that I do over there. So if it interests you, link is in the description down below. With that, I think it's time to see what this is and start the first episode of Lord of the Rings of Power.
And there was a time when the world was so young, there had not yet been a sunrise.
So long since I read any of these books, man. Must have been at least 15 years since I read the Silmarillion. And that's the most recent one I read.
Well, even you couldn't possibly believe their old scrap will float.
Is this Galadriel?
It's going to sail.
Now it's gonna unfold a sail. Fancy. Very fancy. And then they're ruining it by throwing rocks at it. Freaking kids, man. They suck.
I told you it wouldn't float.
You suck, kid.
Lose your footing again, Galadriel.
Punch him. Punch him.
Do you know why a ship floats and a stone cannot? The stone sees only downward. The darkness of the water is vast and irresistible.
I don't know if I agree.
For unlike the stone, her gaze is not downward but up, fixed upon the light that guides her.
I mean, it's very poetic and beautiful, I guess.
The lights shine just as brightly reflected in the water as they do in the sky. How am I to know which lights to follow?
Good point. So this starts... Maybe this is just a small introduction, but this starts back like in the West, on the Western continent, where the elves came from. I don't remember what it's called.
We had no word for death, for we thought our joys would be unending.
And then Morgoth happened.
So when the great foe Morgoth
Yeah, there he is.
destroyed the very light of our home,
Dick move, dude. Nice. I like that with the silhouette. Ooh, that's a really pretty image. This looks really good, man.
they said it would be over quickly.
But no
the
plan of
war
battle survives first contact.
Now, we learned many words for death.
Yeah, you left the Garden of Eden and entered reality.
Sauron. My brother vowed to seek him out and destroy him.
But
Sauron
then,
found him first.
it didn't go that way, huh?
In the darkness, his vow became mine. But the trail grew thin.
Has some grand views.
Passed out of thought and mind.
Wow.
More and more of our kind
Wow.
began to believe that Sauron was but a memory.
Wow.
At last was ended.
Okay. I'm sold. I'm here for this. Keep up, losers.
This company has followed you to the very edge of the world. It's been years since the last orc was sighted. Perhaps we would be wise to camp here, and tomorrow begin the journey home.
She's not interested. This is really inhospitable. And again, like, pure chainmail against skin, that's so stupid. I mean, I guess you are magical elves, so...
There's nothing out here. We should have been there by now.
You were saying? Oh no, wait.
We are there.
Keep zooming out. Wow. These are some mind-blowing visuals. Just gonna say.
It's colder than the rest.
Oh no. What's that? An armory or something? Or? Like it looks like a smithy. Still warm.
Even stone cannot hide the mark of one whose very hand is flame unquenched. Tell the others to rest while they can. At sunrise we move on. Let's take the search farther north.
For God's sakes.
This mark was left as a tribute.
We exceeded our orders months ago. Surely we must first return home to take counsel with the High King.
Yeah, kinda. But then you have to make this trek back and then back home and then back out here again and to keep going. I mean, guys, seriously, if you're this hard up against a troll, what the heck are you gonna do against Sauron? That was excessively flashy.
We should never have come in here.
The order is given. We march at first light.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say. You're about to have a mutiny on your hands. Goddamn quitters, man. Wow, they've really done a good job of capturing the vibe of the movies, the Peter Jackson movies, while at the same time doing like something of their own.
Let's just get to the lake before sundown.
Who are these now? Who are these indeed? It's like...
Clear and clear.
It's like this version of... this show's version of Hobbits. Yeah, what do they mean?
The winds are still out there.
They'll be fine. Goldie, Nori's with them. You know Nori.
Yes, I do.
Show us Nori then.
We didn't do everything we weren't supposed to do. We'd hardly do anything at all.
Mischievous kids.
Oh no.
Back in the day when there were a lot of dangers in the world.
Good place for a hill troll to hide, just me.
All with glory and splendor.
Mushrooms? No, berry bushes.
I found something.
What did you find, little girl?
It looks like a footsie.
Oh no. The travelers had some sort of dogs with them. No. In the book, it was shown.
Is he going to eat Owlberry?
No, he's gonna eat you, little girl.
Time to go. Work the big route.
Elrond?
Harold Elrond. At last.
Wow.
It's almost as if I didn't wish to be found.
This is really pretty.
The ceremony.
Lindon, capital of the High Elves. Okay. I mean, it's just very pretty almost the entire time. But just being pretty is not enough. You need to you need to have substance as well. And I'm curious as to what the substance will be.
I hear it said that when you cross over, you hear a song, one whose memory we all carry.
Yeah.
This mark's very existence proves Sauron escaped. And supplies
You
enough
have only
to...
just arrived. Must you speak of leaving again so soon?
You know very
She's on a vendetta or something. She's very, very driven.
I demand to speak with the king directly.
You have made that plain. So I will be equally plain.
Maybe he doesn't have any pull.
It was not your company who defied you out there, but rather you who defied the High King. He has chosen to honor your accomplishments.
Oh no.
Rather than dwell upon your insolence.
You're done, I think. So what, she's gonna hand in her badge and go rogue?
You went to the old farm again, didn't you?
Possibly.
Careful. But the children wonder if there's trouble down south.
And what concern is that of yours, Eleanor Brandyfoot?
Brandyfoot. That really sounds hobbit. But these are not hobbits. Maybe they are, actually.
Elves have forests to protect. Dwarfs their minds, but we Harfoots are free from the worries of the wide world.
Oh.
We are but ripples.
No.
We have each other. We're safe.
Why are you tempting fate like this? It's wholly unnecessary. Man, these visuals. They've really gone all out. I wonder how much is CG.
Washing away the last remnants of our enemy like a spring rain over the bones of a spoilt cock.
Oh, he's a speechwriter. He's a herald.
They have proven beyond any doubt that our days of war are over.
Yeah, hear that, Galadriel? The days of war are over. Get with the program.
Begin.
She's not gonna accept it. The ostrich strategy is not a good idea, because we know that the threat is out there. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been much point in having the movie trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
They will be escorted to the Grey Havens and granted passage across the sea to dwell for all eternity.
She's actually gonna do that, right? She's gonna hand in her badge and gun. Wow. Oh my.
You deserve the honors of this day. Your brother would be proud.
Well, the job is not done, you know?
I suppose some part of me always believed my rest would be here, with them.
The gift of your king.
She's not gonna have
I
it.
guess I have decided to refuse.
Yeah, there you go.
I go to seek the enemy that escaped us in the north.
It is over. The evil is gone.
Then why is it not gone from in here?
Well,
after all you have endured,
hypervigilance is a thing.
it's only natural to feel conflicted.
But, I mean, she's obviously right. Because Sauron is not gone.
But you have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
Do you truly believe seeking him out will satisfy you? That one more orc upon the point of your blade will bring you peace?
Yeah, true.
If you are wrong,
There is no peace in revenge.
To convince yourself you have done enough, how many more statues would you add to this path?
Yeah, but if she's right... I mean, seriously, if she's right, Sauron is out there, which we know he is, then, like, leaving him alone, giving him time to recoup his lost strength or whatever, and start, like, regenerate his army, and, like, that's gonna lead to way more dead elves, so...
Go, and I promise you, if but a whisper of a rumor of the threat you perceive proves true, I will not rest until it is put right. You have fought long enough, Galadriel.
Well, we know she's not gonna listen because she's in the movies. Wow. Again, like, just... every new setting is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. In different ways, of course, but, like, the set design for this show is crazy.
For a drink, soldier. Well, my well is yours, as ever.
He has a face on his chest.
What poisoning? The one we were just discussing. A fellow passed through a few days back, said his grazing's gone rotten. Well, only weeds will grow. This fellow.
That's portentous. Sign of evil.
What day was he here?
Oh, let it go, knife ears.
Hey.
Our true king will return.
Yeah?
Pry us right out from under your pointy boots.
No. Actually not.
Will there be anything else then?
That's a cool chest armor.
Give me a hand.
Who is this woman?
Alfred seeds. I've not seen this flower since I was a child.
Yeah, you better back off so they don't think you're
Until next time.
an elf sympathizer or something. The bigots in this village are not going to be happy about it if they see you fraternizing.
Have you considered the consequences I might face if the Watchwarden were to discover what it is that you're doing?
Afraid I don't take you mean.
No, me neither. What is it? What is he doing? You know?
My point is this.
Nice backdrop.
History has a pairing between elves and humans even been attempted, and on each occasion it ended in tragedy.
Oh, that's what they're on about.
The High King has declared the days of war are over.
Mistake.
We're leaving.
Huge mistake. I mean, it's an understandable impulse to want to put it behind you, but you better be correct, and we know that they're not. And these sets.
Taking a last look. The blood of those who stood with Morgoth still darkens their veins. For 79 years you've kept watch over the men and women of Tirharad, not because of what their ancestors once did, but because of who they still are.
Oh, you don't trust humans, huh? You think they're, like, fundamentally flawed or something?
What's one of them doing here?
There's tension between elves and humans, that's for damn sure.
Say what you wish to say.
I have said it already. 100 times over, in every way but words.
Yeah, well, people aren't mind readers, my dude. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more obvious.
She's got some sort of a sickness.
What manner of sickness?
Because she ate the poison grass. The grass that some evil touched.
Think she might have ate something.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Good. She might have made it as far as Horden.
That's properly disturbing.
Be quick about it. He finds us in here, he'll knock our teeth out.
Oh, you're buddies. Of course you are. Is that elven, but like scorched by flame?
Watch it! Go on, quick.
Or is it something forged in Mordor? Or forged by evil? Oh no. Not a good sign, guys. Really not a good sign. No way, Galadriel. You're not doing this. I don't believe it. Believe you.
She might have inadvertently kept alive the very evil she sought to defeat. The same wind that seeks to blow out a fire may also cause its spread.
Yes, let's pretend as if nothing exists.
What you did was right. For Galadriel and for Middle-earth.
It's hard to see what is right.
The track record would disagree.
You're acquainted with the work of Lord Celebrimbor. He is about to embark on a new project, one of singular importance.
Oh.
And we've decided that you will be working with
the Rings of Power.
Now the stars. Eyes open when they should be sleeping. Almost like they're watching for something.
Watching for what?
That was good.
The skies are strange.
Strange how?
All right, have that grace.
On my way.
Well, they're not acting the way they should. Things are not where they're supposed to be. Or something along those lines.
Horden.
Okay. It's a sad boat. No chairs or anything. No, she's not gonna let go of that one. Don't ever Guess she did. Pretty. I don't know if you know, but like in Tolkien's world, the world was created by song. Oh, Gil-galad. What now? She wants none of this pearly gates nonsense.
How am I to know which lights to follow?
Yeah. Trust your heart. There will be none of this. Okay, so she's just gonna stay on the boat. No. So the handmaidens get to come along? Or did they come from the Undying Lands? You have quite the swim to look forward to now. Summer is over. Autumn's coming. Is that a person? That was episode 1 of The Rings of Power, by the way. But what was that? Who's that dude? Like, I see 2 options. Fallen angel? I know. Not literally, but metaphorically. Or one of the Istari. That's what they're called, right? The wizards. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to think yet. It's way too early to know where this is gonna go. Like, so far, this is, like, of course, obviously, this is just set up. Like, we know what the overarching theme is, that, like, evil is rising or something. And at the same time, we know that we can't resolve, we can't fight, or, like, we can fight the evil, but we can't triumph over it. Because the final triumph is later during the Lord of the Rings, you know? Not here now. This is just like lead up. This is fluff, kinda, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's too early to tell. I like the characters we've been introduced to so far. I think the most interesting part is, what was his name? Arondir, I think. The elf in the southeast, the watchman. I think that part's the most interesting one. I'm curious, like, because the Nori woman, the Harfoot, that, I mean, they are just like another version of hobbits. That can become the most interesting part, simply because, like, the parallels to hobbits, you know, they have been central to the story in everything else. So why not here as well? You know, because they're clearly relying heavily on nostalgia for this, because the movies were such a big deal. Like, when I think of Lord of the Rings, even though I've read the books, I've read them once in Swedish and I've read them twice, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, twice in English. But when I think Lord of the Rings, my first thought goes to the movies, you know? Maybe because I thought the movies were better than the books. I haven't read the books in a long time, I will say that. So, like, if I read them now, my perception might be very different, and probably would be, actually. Because I'm a very different person now compared to last time I read The Lord of the Rings. But my conception is that, like, Tolkien deserves all the credit in the world for being, like, one of the first to, like, create fantasy literature. But he's not the best. You know, that's the conception I have, and that's because I should actually give them a chance and read them again, Because when I read them, I was very impatient. I wanted more action. Like I was not very good with a more slow, more sedate style of storytelling. Back in those days, like my favorites were like David Eddings and Terry Brooks, and that's way more. I don't know how to put it. YA focused or something along those lines. YA didn't really exist back then, but like it was more in that vein of storytelling. It was way more direct, way more action packed. To return to what I was saying, like the Nori might be the most interesting part of this story, but not yet. That's going to have to develop over time. And I feel somehow that means that Galadriel might be the least interesting part of the story. Or maybe Elrond and the forging of the rings. I don't know. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. Like, how are they going to create a narrative? Like, how are they going to create an overarching plot that ties everything together? I'm sure they will. I'm sure it will be great. But I don't know how yet. There's a lot of good like signs here. It looks good. It looks outstanding. Visually, this is stunning. But you need more than that, you know? I appreciate the high fantasy vibe here. Like everyone, the way people speak is very... how to put it? Like they don't feel like people, they feel like characters in a story. Because they don't talk the way people talk. It's very stilted, not stilted, it's very fancy, you know, very flowery. And that's... See this fly? There's one fly in here and he's driving me nuts. He's all over me the entire time. I just realized something. We haven't seen any dwarves yet. Because I think this guy Arondir and this dwarf princess were the people that angry trolls online got really upset about. And we haven't seen her yet. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, mostly I'm just curious how this is going to become a story, you know. And I'm here for it. It's very early days, so I'm sure they're going to do great. I like giving things the benefit of the doubt, because like enjoying things is more fun than hating on things, for me at least. I think that's kind of the motto of the YouTube channel Cinema Wins. I think the quote is, because liking things is more fun than not liking things. I try to keep that in mind at all times. Audio visually, brilliant. Nothing to complain about there. Especially visually, but audio as well was good. I think this is all over just like a really, really, really solid production. You can really tell that they have spent a lot of money here. And I'm curious to see where it goes. Because that's kind of what I do. I talk about themes, I talk about like overarching plot. I really like to try to figure stories out. And I don't feel like I have a whole lot to work with here. And I can't wait to get more details and to get really stuck in. But that is for a different day. For today, I'm done and I thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you in the next video. But until then, do take care of yourselves and peace out.